If you are new to this channel and enjoy the content that you see, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to be alerted and notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto this channel, along with following me on these social media platforms to stay connected with me at all times. Also, feel free to check out all of your favorite videos and playlists located down in the description box below. Thank you so much for your continued support. Now let's begin. As an end result in snapping his finger and wiping out half of the universe, Thanos in the upcoming Avengers movie is in fact going to be weakened. And with the upcoming Avengers movie on the horizon, fans within the Marvel Cinematic Universe are begging the question, what is going to be the fate of Thanos in this upcoming movie? Is Thanos going to survive? Is he going to be imprisoned as he was in other comic issues, or is he going to be killed off? Preferably either by a hero or maybe as an end result of killing himself. We understand that going into the upcoming Avengers movie, Thanos, as powerful as he is, has in fact been affected by the snap of his finger in wiping out half the universe, as confirmed by the Russo brothers. Not only is Thanos physically damaged, but the Infinity Gauntlet that Thanos wields is also permanently damaged as well. And with the Infinity Gauntlet having to be damaged, does this give the Avengers an opportunity in capitalizing on a weakened Thanos? To that, I would say as individual characters, absolutely not. There is not a single character on the team right now currently that could go toe-to-toe with Thanos while wielding the Infinity Gauntlet. Not even with Stormbreaker do I believe Thor is capable of even defeating Thanos himself. So with that, I do believe that the Avengers currently right now hold the greatest advantage when it comes to strategic numbers. Even though half of the Avengers have been wiped out, such as Black Panther, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, with those characters having to be gone for now, I do believe that eventually they will come back. The current Avengers, Hulk, Captain Marvel, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, and many others still possess the numbers advantage over Thanos, and with that allows them to have a significant advantage in overpowering Thanos as a collective group. But is Thanos going to go down that easily? If so, who is going to be the one to do it? Now, many refer to Thanos as a celestial, a cosmic being that can't be defeated so easily, and to that, you are correct, which is why I don't think that any other individual character right now can stop Thanos, but we've seen the after effects of what Stormbreaker did to Thanos' body. It gravely injured him. However, most of Thanos' injuries right now don't come from Thor directly, but from using all 6 of the Infinity Stones in snapping his finger. And by wielding such powers of the universe itself took a lot away from Thanos. So much so that you could see the visual representation at the end of Infinity War as Thanos hunches over and he seems to be physically damaged, physically in pain, and without this, the Avengers have no chance in stopping him. But while having a weakened Thanos at this current state, the Avengers must capitalize in removing the Infinity Gauntlet away from Thanos' possession, in allowing them to finish off Thanos head on as a collective team, not as individuals, because it's been confirmed before that Thanos could easily single-handedly defeat any of the Avengers by himself, at least at this current point in time. But we also have to stop and ask the question, does Thanos even want to die to begin with? With Thanos having to embrace death so much, what makes anyone else believe that Thanos doesn't want to die? Especially having to meet Mistress Death, it is a character that we haven't seen physically within the MCU, and what a way for her to be introduced than meeting Thanos in the afterlife after he perishes in this upcoming movie. That's only if. Of course, they could always go down the route of imprisoning Thanos, leaving an open door for Thanos to return later on in the future, as we've seen in the animated series and in the comics before, with Thanos having to come back and fighting off the Avengers and the X-Men, the Return of Ultron having to fight against Thanos, and many other wacky concepts and stories. They could always keep Thanos locked away, with his fascination of death still having to be very harmed by the after effects of the Infinity Gauntlet. They don't have to kill him per se, but if they do, what makes you think that Thanos doesn't want to go? Which is very symbolic in and of itself, because when asking the Russo brothers about the Avengers Infinity War ending, Anthony Russo goes on to quote the ending in saying he's like a holy warrior. Once he puts his armor down in that movie, he becomes like a holy warrior, and this is his resting place to him. He says in the film he's just going to sit and watch the sunrise, and quote, as Thanos had told Doctor Strange when encountering him on the planet Titan, which in the mind of Thanos, he believed that he had done something right in, quote, cleansing the universe, which in fact we all know Thanos, in his own subjective view, is wrong based on the narrative and the approach he took in wiping out half of the life in the universe. And when referencing wiping out life, it's a very interesting concept to see Thanos within the Soul Realm, which is located within the Soul Stone, speaking to a little Gamora, and one can make the assumption that perhaps maybe Thanos' consciousness was transferred on over within the Soul Realm, being that number 1, he didn't wield the Gauntlet, number 2, he didn't have the wound on his chest, and number 3, his arm wasn't mutilated, he looked completely fine. But after everything is said and done, we see Thanos sitting at the end, staring out into the sunrise, completely damaged, but there is, purposely enough, no shot of what Thanos had endured by Stormbreaker having to be shown at the very end of the movie. They purposely cut out that scene as sort of like a cliffhanger, as it begs the question, does he still have the wound? With the powers of the Infinity Stones, has he perhaps healed himself, but yet at the same time still damaged as an end result of the snap? We don't know. But what is known is Thanos' representation of what he's willing to do, including laying down his own life just to complete the agenda and the mission he was set out to complete, and that was to gather the powers of the universe, that being the Infinity Stones, in cleansing the universe, or at least in his eyes. And we saw at the end of Infinity War, when Thanos had returned back to a state of consciousness and staring into Thor's face right before leaving, he seemed to be shocked, but yet at the same time kind of surprised, yet angry for a moment before he teleported, in which as an end result led him to appear at the farm. We saw the isolation, we saw the look in Thanos' eyes after having to lose everything. Even though he had won, the question is, was he ultimately defeated as an end result of winning by the end of Infinity War? After having to sacrifice the one thing he loved at the expense of his own body, and even going as far as to put his own health on the line, was it worth it? And with the universe through his eyes having to be cleansed, does Thanos even value his own life anymore? What is the purpose of him continuing? This is why I believe Thanos does not care anymore, because his mission is complete. And let's be realistic, if Thanos really wanted to, he could have easily destroyed the Avengers one by one after wielding all 6 of the Infinity Stones, but he didn't. The Avengers' best chance in this case, with a weakened Thanos, not essentially Thor as a singular character, but the weapon itself. We know that the weapon was used in not only cutting through Thanos' attack, but piercing his armor and his actual flesh at the same time. Pretty OP'd weapon if you ask me, which is why it's the Avengers' only shot unless Tony Stark decides to create some sort of god killer armor, Thanos Buster suit, or even his own Vibranium Infinity Gauntlet. Without those having to be useful, Stormbreaker is the only chance the Avengers have at this current point, after of course removing Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet to put Thanos down into the ground. But even after Thanos dies, assumingly enough, is that the end of Thanos' story? I believe personally it is not, but going back to the Stormbreaker wound, I think that the damage done by the snap is actually permanent in comparison to the Stormbreaker wound. I think the damage that Thor had inflicted on Thanos had been completely healed, and I think that Thanos is probably weakened because he is the first being aside from the Celestials to wield all 6 of the Infinity Stones in using them at the exact same time. And let's not forget that the more Thanos begins to use the Infinity Gauntlet now that it has all 6 stones, the more the Infinity Stones are going to be killing him, possibly even weakening him that much more and giving the Avengers a chance to defeat him. If anyone's going to beat Thanos, it's going to be Thanos. Thanos is going to beat himself. Consider this, if Thanos continuously uses all 6 of the Infinity Stones while still wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, then what are the odds of something very similar happening to him as an end result of him using it? What if Thanos continuously uses these powers to his advantage? Would this imply that by using such power would his body diminish that much more? I do believe that the only advantage the Avengers have, if not for the Stormbreaker, is in fact going to be for for Thanos to continuously use the Infinity Gauntlet. Even though I do believe that at this current point, both the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos are weakened, it is the best, possibly even only opportunity that the Avengers have right now to capitalize on a weakened Thanos. But in the end, do you guys think Thanos is going to be killed off? If so, who is going to kill him off and why? Do you guys believe that Thor potentially possesses enough power to defeat Thanos in using the Stormbreaker weapon? What are your thoughts on the wound on Thanos' chest? If you guys have any thoughts and or theories of your own, drop them in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, guys. Once again, if you guys are excited and ready for the upcoming Avengers movie, then go on ahead and slap a big fat like down below. If you guys love Marvel and are new to this channel, consider punching that subscribe button and turning on all notifications to never miss a single upload. Tune back in for more. If you guys believe potentially there is room in introducing Mistress Death in the upcoming movie, or even possibly a Celestial, Infinity, Eternity, or some other celestial being, perhaps even Galactus, let me know your thoughts down below. It is possible, especially now with Disney having to own Fox and Fox's characters, the possibilities of seeing more and bigger things happen is basically infinite. But with that being said, are the powers of Thanos now infinite, or is Thanos killing himself by continuously using the Infinity Gauntlet? Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all for watching. Once again, if you guys have missed out the previous uploads, theories, discussions, and of course explained videos, check them out on my channel. Thank you all once more. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace.